Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 37, verses 12 through 23. Now, Joseph is going to be sold by his brothers. Now, his brothers went to pasture their flock near Shechem. Well, we know bad things happen at Shechem, don't they? And Israel said to Joseph, "Are not your brothers pasturing the flock at Shechem? Come, I will send you to them." And he said to them, "Here I am." So he said to him, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers and with the flock, and bring me word." Go find out how they're doing. We know how you always tell me how they're doing, whether they're good or bad. I know you're going to tell me the truth. So go see how they're doing, check up on them, make sure they're doing the right thing, and let me know. So he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the fields, and the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" He's just wandering around, looking. He was looking for someone. He can't find them. "I am seeking my brothers," he said. "Tell me, please, where they are pasturing their flock." And the man said, "They've gone away. I heard them say, 'Let us go down to Dothan.'" That's where they're at. Go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from afar, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. So they are premeditating this abuse. They are premeditating this murder. That was their plan initially, was to kill Joseph. They said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer with all these dreams about talking how he's going to rule over us." Well, he's not going to rule over us. "Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits." So you can see the hatred has grown into murder, has grown into killing. And I'm reminded of Jesus' teaching when he says, if we hate someone in our heart, if we call someone a fool, if we hate them in our heart, it is the same thing as killing them in our heart. So whenever you have malice or hatred toward somebody, realize that is still a violation of the sixth commandment. Thou shalt not kill. You are breaking blatantly the 10 Commandments when you hate or have malice in your heart. The question will be that you might be having is, okay, well, when does it technically become murder? Can I be irritated at somebody and then it not be considered murder? Well, the answer is no. Any sort of hatred or even irritation with someone, we have to realize that even if it's small, it's still the beginning part of sin. And so even irritation can grow into bitterness, can grow into malice, can grow into hatred. And it all starts with an irritation, right? It doesn't have to begin with hatred or some sort of malice. It can begin with a slight irritation. And irritation built upon irritation can grow into this overwhelming hatred. And we know that hatred then can grow into murder. And so what Jesus is saying is that when you hate somebody in your heart, you're basically committing murder. What he's saying is that it's the same type of sin. We're just talking the amount of the sin. We're talking about the degree of the sin. It's like your volume control on your phone. If it's turned all the way down and you have something playing anyway, a podcast or a music or perhaps a video, whatever it might be, if you got it turned all down, it's still being played even though you can't hear it. You might turn it up to level 1 or 2 and you hear it just a tad, but the music's still there. You turn it all the way up to 100 and it's very loud. It's the same music that's being played. And so hatred in our heart is considered murder, just the same way that irritation in our heart can be considered hatred, which then can be considered murder. So any sort of disgust and hatred and irritation toward anybody is a violation of the sixth commandment. Thou shalt not kill. These brothers now it is turned up all the way to 100, and their hatred is so strong that they are going to kill Joseph. So then we will say that a fierce animal has devoured him, and we will see what will become of his dreams. As is always the case, sin breeds more sin, so they want to kill their brother, and they're also going to lie about it. So what commandment would that be? That would be commandment number what? 8, is that right? Thou shalt not lie. I don't think that's right in my mind, but thou shalt not lie. We know that's one of the commandments, and they're breaking that one as well. But when Reuben heard it, I think it's 9. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Cover that mouth. Number 9, I think. Y'all can check me. But we know it's one of the 10 commandments. So, breaking more and more. But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, let us not take his life. So, Reuben, the oldest, is saying, no, we don't need to kill him. Let's not do that. So, he's trying to be wise, but he's not strong enough. I don't know if that's just their hatred is very rabid, or what. Perhaps he's afraid of his brothers, but he is the oldest. He probably could have persuaded them, I would assume. He is trying to wisely save him, but he doesn't do enough. Reuben said to them, shed no blood, throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him. So what he's saying is, let's just throw him in the pit. We'll leave him here to die, but let's not kill him with our hands. And the reason he was saying that is that he might rescue him out of their hand to restore him to their father. They'd leave him in the pit, and then Reuben would come back and get him out and take him to their father. Reuben's interaction with Joseph is going to be important later on when they are in Egypt. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the robe of many colors that he wore. So the very thing that Jacob meant to be a blessing to Joseph actually became a curse. I pray that it's been a blessing to you. I'll see you in the next video. Maybe.